What? Goodness. Did anyone go to bed last night, or people just stayed up until the con opened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, guys, that's such great work with raising the money for lupus. That was awesome yesterday. It was so exciting. It was charity auction. Martin and I came out of there, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in Vegas or something. This is crazy. So that was really excellent to be part of. Except they told us we couldn't keep the 28,000. That was confusing to us. That's why. Good morning. Should we open it right up to? What do you want to say? Did you guys have a great time at Dragon Con this year? I know Jason did. Yep. Dragon Con. He loves Dragon Con. Hey, thanks so much for having us. It's it's Monday morning panel, so we've been talking all weekend, but we're happy to be here, and we're going to open up the questions right now and see if we can get some that we haven't been asked already this weekend, and see if Mark can answer it for us.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is for anybody who can answer.
That's a perfect way to go.
Who was the funniest person on set?
Me. No, what show? Why don't you talk about your show, Ben?
Which multiverse?
Yeah, exactly.
It was definitely Leonard Nimoy. That dude was a crack up all the time. Me and Shatner, we used to laugh at him. On Farscape, it was Anthony Simcoe. On Stargate, it was Chris Judge. It's a pretty obvious answer, though, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
Was anybody funny on Atlantis? I don't know. They wouldn't let me on the set.
Exactly.
Specific instructions.
Stay away from the set. I don't know. I think we had a lot of funny people on our show. Martin, David's really funny, obviously, and everyone in their own way is really, fun and funny. And I mean, Joe was funny, and Rachel, we just teased a lot. And Jewel is always a charm to be around. In the morning, in a good way.
You telling the truth?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
And Jason was just a sweetheart, a big teddy bear.
So who was funny on Firefly? That's what I want to know.
It's a tie between Nathan and Alan.
Microphone two.
From Martin, I want to know where I can get your autograph and a picture because I have grown to love you over this time.
I know, Jewel told me I should do the Walk of Fame, and I was like, for which 3 people? Just I'll be in Ben's room. Ben, what's your room number? You can find me. I'll be hanging around right after this. I'll sign whatever you want. Within reason. Although I take special care for the ones that are eventually going to be tattoos. Get a lot of those. Within reason at Dragon Con has very wide margins.
Microphone one.
Hi, I was at Shore Leave with Tori Higginson and Jason Momoa. She said he used to start stripping whenever the camera would turn. Was that true or not? You would have it taking your shirt off and stuff when you knew the camera wasn't on you.
Just to Jason or me?
Maybe. I don't remember that, but do you remember me stripping when the camera wasn't on?
I would remember that, and no, I don't.
Yeah, he did a little bit. I do remember that, Jason would just he would always be working on a bike or a car or, cleaning his Airstream, and a lot of the times it was with his shirt off, and it made me feel bad about myself and my life. Yeah.
We're Hawaiian, I don't like clothes.
A lot of the Teamsters love that. Watch Jason polishing his bikes, his Airstream. shorts on. I go, what are you doing here? Are you're not in today. He goes, no, man, I'm just here polishing up my new stuff. I go, okay, that's great. I'll tell you something. When Jason first started working out, I thought it was kind of funny. His very first day in the set, he has a stand-in. And, you know, we had never met a stand-in because, you know, there wasn't a big giant dude on the show yet. So Jason comes, and his stand-in the first couple of days is this fellow named Sean Milliken who played football for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And he is, you know, Jason's really built. Am I right? This guy is ripped, right? And so he's there, and the scene, he calls for Jason to have his shirt off, and I have to take this thing out of his back, you know, and I think it was Runner was the episode, right? And so Jason's standing there, and his first thing, and then Sean, they go, Sean, will you take your shirt off? And Sean's like, yeah, okay. Takes his shirt off, and he's like the Incredible Hulk, right? He's just ripped, right? And I'm watching Jason's like, Jesus, dude, what have you been doing? And he's just kind of walking around. All the girls on set were like, you know, the handsome guy. And then Jason takes his shirt off, and all the girls were like, I love this set. I love Stargate Atlantis. And then David took his shirt off, and that ended all that.
Microphone 2. Morning.
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 Thanks for making this a great panel today. Is the mic not on?
No, we can hear you.
Easy question for a Monday morning panel. What has been your favorite costume that you've seen this weekend? And if you were to come in costume, what would you come as?
Kaylee.
That's what you would come as?
That's what I would come as. Yeah, that's what I would come as. That was my favorite costume. That's what I would come as. And
I saw those guys. What are the tiny guys that work all day so the Fraggles can play? What are those? Yeah, I saw those guys. Those guys were pretty awesome.
My favorite costume was the giant Jane hat. And then who would I would probably come as Matthew Box's girlfriend. Don't laugh.
I know Maddie's not laughing right now.
Maddie knows all about that.
There was a 6'6", 450-pound Yoda. He came by, man. You know the walkway, almost couldn't get by. That was impressive. I heard about one. It was at night. That was a 400-pound scrotum. I can say that, right?
That's fine.
I'm glad I didn't see that one. And I'm not going to come as that one to any kind of...
I'm going to stick with the giant baby that I saw, because that was the best. You know, the soother, everything, the big night shirt, the hat, and, you know, the only difference was it was a 45-year-old man. And, but he seems to be having a great time in the corner. I'm just sitting there, and I love that costume, and I might just dress like that next year.
It might have been that scrotum guy, because I saw him bouncing around on his nuts. That was pretty funny. I might come as me without my shirt on. Like just wearing a pair of Depends. Microphone 1.
Good morning. As most of us on a Monday morning, we're already commiserating the fact that Dragon Con is almost over and planning again for next year. But my question is for the general panel, what experience or just general memory are you guys going to most remember from this weekend that you're going to take with you throughout this next year and maybe share with your friends and family?
I really wish I could tell you the story. But for legal reasons, I don't think I can. I don't want to defame somebody else who's not here to defend himself. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I mean, you know, that was the first Stargate auction that I had been to, and it was such an overwhelmingly positive experience. I mean, I don't know if, how many of you guys were there, but it was really extraordinary. I mean, the Stargate fans, you know, we're not the biggest fan group here, but the fact that we could raise that kind of money for such a great cause and really outdo everybody else here is extraordinary. So congratulations, guys. That was amazing.
guys are gonna remember, because I can't tell that story either.
You must have other memories, Jewel. Come on.
Just seeing you, Paul.
So sweet. Come on.
Yeah, but it was my husband's birthday this weekend. My husband's birthday always falls on Dragon Con weekend. Poor guy. No, but he has a great time, and we all kind of spend 4 days celebrating that. So I would probably say just generally seeing everybody and being able to have dinner every night and catch up and drink lots of champagne.
It seems like every time I come to something like this, I meet someone who has a story that they tell me, and I won't relate the stories because they're usually very personal and very private. But the thing that I take away, and particularly for some reason with Dragon Con, because Dragon Con, in some sense, seems more about the community at large and your community, which doesn't include us, because you guys get together and the people out there get together to see each other, to share their costumes, to share their stories. But inevitably, you know, and at least 4 or 5 times this weekend, someone has come to me and told me a story that relates to what was going on for them when either Farscape or Stargate was going on, and there's this incredible emotional connection between us as storytellers and you as the audience and participants in that story that is humbling. And so, you know, this place is much or more so than the other conventions. That's what I come away with. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing those stories, and thank you for being the most important part of our jobs and of this story at large. So, you know, congratulations to you. It's a wonderful community.
Tough one to follow, man. Paul?
That was off the hook there. Perfect. I have to go along with Martin. You know, the charity auction yesterday was a really exhilarating experience for us. I was able to be up there and MC it, so to speak, and it was just great to see and stuff. We talked about it, and she came to this convention, and I think she's lost a total of 160 pounds. Pretty amazing accomplishment. And we've taken tons of pictures together, but this time in the photo op I took a picture with her, I picked her up and held her in it. So it was pretty cool. So she's out there somewhere, but that's a huge thing. You know, a lot of people struggle with weight issues and stuff, and it was so great to see her really, really healthy like that again. So that was really cool.
Seeing all my friends, I don't get to see these guys that much, and some of the other from different shows, and it's always nice to come together and hang out and always get a little carried away. Sorry about that. I don't have too many memories I remember, but nice seeing everyone.
Microphone 2.
Hello.
Is it on?
Yep. Yeah.
This is my first Stargate, and I was trying to think of what kind of question to ask you guys. And I'm curious if you guys have ever dressed up in a costume and just kind of, you know, roamed around in the crowd that no one knew you, like knew who you were.
Well, yes, I have. In that I've been able to do that all week. I know, it's funny walking around. I walk around with Jewel. I keep telling Jewel that she should just dress as Kaylee, and then no one will pay her any mind. Like, oh man, that's a good Kaylee.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got in the elevator yesterday, and there was a guy in a John Crichton outfit who didn't recognize me.
I got on the elevator yesterday. There was a guy in a McKay outfit that tried to kiss me.
I was in an elevator once, and this was at Dragon Con. This wasn't this year. It was the previous year. This fan was in the elevator and said to me, anybody ever tell you that you look like Jewel State? And all the people I was with started laughing, and he goes, no, no, it's a compliment.
Next question.
Next question.
Mic number 1.
Hi there. Are there any kinds of characters you would flat out refuse to play because perhaps that would bring you to a dark side of the character you don't want to go to because it affects you so much emotionally? Or do you distance yourself from the character you play so much that you don't mind?
Did I meet you in Germany?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Bless you.
I would not do anything ridiculous like kiss David Hewlett. Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then keep it in your mind, whoever wrote that is disgusting.
Thank you, Jason.
Therapy.
Guys, is there anything you wouldn't do? I assume there's a long list.
Well, I think there's a long list. You have to read, obviously you get the material, read it, and see if you agree with what's being said in the storyline and what the character. It's hard hypothetically to think that, but of course I think there's things that everybody up here wouldn't play. But then there's lots of things that they would play depending on the paycheck. So, but it depends. I mean, you got to read it, right? You got to read and see what you're dealing with, what kind of morals the character might have, or what kind of story is. And I think there can be dark characters that are really well written too. So I think they're a lot of fun to play. That the character playing Sanctuary, I think, is not a very nice guy, but he's a fun character to play. So and he's quite dark, so very different than Beckett.
I'll play whatever character you want me to play. As long as somebody dresses as that character next year at Dragon Con. Mic number 2.
This is specifically for Mr. Browder. I read somewhere that you were your brother's pit crew chief, and I was wondering what that was like, because racing is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a pit crew chief. My family used to run a NASCAR Sports Grand National team, which is now the Nationwide Series. There's still a great deal of, like everybody in the South, we have stock cars in the barn. No, it's true. We still have Bush cars and USAC cars and USAR cars and late model stock cars laying around the property. They ran the number 78 car for a number of years and discovered, like everyone else, that the best way to make a fortune in racing is to start with a large fortune. So, no, I spent a lot of time at the track. I grew up going to Charlotte before it was Lowe's. I still watch NASCAR, and I listen to NPR. It's a balanced lifestyle. Try to keep clean that way. And the best that I've managed to do is run a late model car at Hickory Motor Speedway, which is a classic half-mile track in North Carolina. I recommend it. If you get a chance to drive a stock car, definitely go drive one. Microphone number 1.
My question is, did you ever steal anything from set?
No. I did that. Did they say what because I didn't. That's all if they want it back, I'll give it to them. I just take it for a little bit.
It was all for charity, really.
I don't ask Jason that question.
They put out a notice to have me searched. Well, I was stealing it weeks before we did.
I think we all took stuff.
I didn't take anything because I thought we shouldn't, so the set was the same for the movie that we were supposed to do.
Right, well, I did take stuff, and I don't know, I took little things. I took like, what did I take? I took like some crystals and, all of Christian's wardrobe. Don't ask, it's not important why. I'm just like wearing it, pretending I'm teal.
Danger Beckett outfit?
I do have my Danger Beckett outfit, actually, yeah. I do have my Danger Beckett outfit. Sometimes I just wear it. They're not flattering. Those season 1, season 2 outfits were, I mean, you know, I'm already, you know, starting at above neutral when it comes to great bodies. So putting on that is just like no help at all. Gosh, I just look terrible. I don't know how these guys pulled it off. It was amazing. Mic number 2.
Martin, thank you very much for coming out, because I think you really contributed a lot to the panels over the weekend.
Thank you, I agree. About how tough you guys were on writers, but it was really great to be out here and to be invited and included, and you know, I know all the other writers would love to come, but you know, they're busy making Stargate right now, so, but thank you.
My question is, when I'm feeling down, I've had a bad day, I've a bit of funk, I watch some Stargate and it always makes me feel better. So what do you guys do when you've had a bad day or you're a little depressed or in a funk? What do you do to get yourself out of that?
Come on, Jason.
Jason, you want to go first? Or? Drink a beer. No, squeeze my kids. Aww. Then drink a beer.
You know, just, I think just regular things like you all do. You know, maybe exercise or go out for dinner with friends or go watch a movie, something like that to cheer you up. Spend some time with your significant other, that type of thing. Same thing as everybody else out here, I think.
I cuddle my Cocker Spaniel. Oh, that's what they're there for. Sometimes Paul does too.
I have been known to cuddle Teddy. They have the best dog. It's a great little Cocker Spaniel, and she is the ultimate lap dog. So when you're sitting on the couch and you're lonely and these guys are out, you're babysitting Teddy. She just crawls on top, I get some popcorn and snuggle into a good Hallmark movie. Believe I just said that. A little cry, a little tissues.
Mic 1.
Are we on? Oh, great.
Sure.
I have a bit of a silly question. Are you familiar with the game Do, Date, Die, also known as Shag, Marry, Throw Off a Cliff? Well,
I'm familiar with that game.
Of your fellow panelists, you will choose.
Nope. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Come up with another 3 that aren't here, maybe.
That's not really fair, there's, you know.
Yeah. Somebody get killed a lot, and I don't look forward to that.
As a clone.
It's true, it's true. I could write myself back in. Does anyone want to take a swing at that? Nope. Okay, so sorry.
Mic 2.
This is for Jewel. In the episode where you, McKay, and Sam all fell down the pit and you were trying to get out and you did that beer game, did you guys actually play that game on set?
No, I don't think we did. I think we just kind of lost our minds in that room a little bit. It was super dirty and dusty, and we were there for a long time. Like, how many days did we shoot in that room?
6 days. You were in that room for 6 days.
It felt like 600 days.
Yeah.
And what I remember most about that is David Hewlett coming up with a Stargate musical. Like, if the show were ever to get canceled, he was going to write a musical, and he would have dancing, singing rapes. And Amanda and I laughing so hard we were crying and blowing takes. But that's what I remember about that.
Springtime.
Pretty good.
Springtime for Stargate and Universe. Microphone one.
Hi there. I just want to thank you all for coming out here this year. I don't know if Mr. Mo's answered this question to Con yet, but we're going to get an update on the Conan movie, if that's coming out soon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be summer of 2011. Big blockbuster, big blaster. Probably around August. That's what I heard. So.
Did you say Blackbuster?
Yeah.
I want to know who was the funniest person on that set.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There right now, it's a little long, so they're chopping it down, and it should be good.
It's going to be great.
They'll be cutting Conan's monologues to short that down.
Too many fights.
A lot of body counts, big body count.
Microphone two.
Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for coming out. This is really pretty awesome to see you this early because I'm barely awake, so I imagine you can't be much.
We're all in this together.
It seems like right now that guest appearances are such a huge thing and crossovers with people popping up on different episodes of different shows like Neil Patrick Harris on Glee. So I was curious, what episodes of current TV shows would you love to make a guest appearance on? I want to be on True Blood. Or Glee. I would settle for Glee too.
Yeah, Glee would be great.
Well, you got the singing chops.
Besides, that was a young Cameron Mitchell who's the lead guy on Glee. I love that. You guys didn't know that? Yeah, the 200th episode of Stargate, the high school quarterback turned Glee singer is the guy who played the young version of Cameron Mitchell on Stargate's 200th episode. Friday Night Lights, I'll carry a water bucket on that show. I'd love to be on Mad Men, just to live in that period for a minute, revisit my childhood. Yeah, basically I'll take a job on any show at the moment. Design Star, I'm ready to go. I love it, just, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a theme. It's a Dragon Con theme room. You'll love it.
I want to go in a celebrity version of Ultimate Fighter. That's sort of what I want to do. On there, different weight classes. Obviously, I'd like Jason to be one of the other celebrity guys in the heavyweight class, and we'd have a blast in the house. 30 Rock, that'd be fun. And Cake Boss.
I'm gonna be a True Blood with Jewel. I love vampires.
Mic number 2? Mic number 1? You guys choose. Both start talking. Let's see what happens first.
I choose mic 1.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. In any of the projects that you guys have done, are there any lines that have stuck with you long term for any reason? Either because they were hard to learn or they meant something to you personally or whatever reason?
I don't really talk that much, so.
Can you think of one, Paul?
Yeah, I did this film called Secrets Fly a number of years ago, and there's one scene where I'm kind of upset with myself. I'm like, I'm an idiot, like that. And the director had it as his message all the time. So every time I call, it'd be like, I'm an idiot. And he'd call me all the time and keep on playing that over and over again. And just, he still does once in a while for fun. So that kind of stuck in there. And I mean, so many things with Stargate, so many, I thought, great lines that we had an opportunity to play. I mean, anything about the Turtles was always stuck in there. And, I'm a doctor, not a fighter pilot, that type of thing, So that was, we had lots of great little one-liners in that show. So they all kind of stay with you, sometimes for a very long time.
Are there any Farscape fans here?
Nope.
Can I get a hell go to my grave with that.
Follow that. Has anybody seen Firefly? Serenity? The line from Serenity that I think will haunt me for the rest of my life. It kind of goes something like, going on a year now, I ain't had nothing twixt my niggas. Never live that down.
Mic number 2.
This question is for Jason. I know in Ireland, Joe put on his Twitter that you guys got together in Ireland, and it sounded like you had a great time. I was wondering what you guys did together in Ireland.
I knew this shit was gonna haunt me. It's all down to Twitter, and I'm like, what? We got together, and I hadn't seen Joe in almost maybe 8 months, and I happened to be in Belfast, and he was shooting a sci-fi movie in Dublin. So I went down, and have you ever heard of hurling? Have you guys heard of hurling?
Yeah.
Amazing sport. It's like field hockey, and yeah, it's rough. We were basically at a hurling match, drinking Guinness. Then we ended up, I mean, that's kind of what you do in Ireland. Sure, yeah. So we just drank and beat up Joe. It was fun.
Mic 1.
Mic 2.
Check.
My question is for Paul and David. Oh, wait.
Did you just call me David?
It's for Paul. You did a movie called A Dog's Breakfast, which was awesome.
That'll haunt me.
I was wondering what it was like to be directed by David instead of acting alongside him.
He did a great job. He had so much to do in the movie. He produced it, wrote it, directed it. He's in almost every scene. I also, see that one scene where my character's dressed as a woman, and David's outside naked, lying in the mud with soap suds on his butt, and they're ready to shoot a scene. It's pouring rain, and I'm staring at him. And just before we roll, they're like, "Okay, we got to change the role here." So David and I are standing outside. I look at David, and he looks up at me, and I go, "This is going to be funny, right?" And he goes, "I think so." And then my heels just sink into the mud. I'm looking at him. So I remember that sort of direction. It was great. He's got great comic timing. So hopefully he'll do more of them. So it was really good.
Good morning, everyone. My question is for Paul. I heard you worked on a film that was in the Toronto Film Festival. I was wondering if you could just talk about that.
It's in the Toronto Film Festival next week. It opens up a short film called A Fine Young Man. Young director, writer from Vancouver named Kevin Funk, Emily Carr's student, came up with the concept. It's like 1962 sort of FBI extension of the government. These two guys are basically recruiters, and they come searching for a fine young man. It's a short film, so I can't tell you where it goes, but it's quite dark. It's sort of like, it's kind of got a Mad Men sort of look to it because it's set in 1962. So it's a cool little short, so we'll see where it goes, but we're really happy to be in Toronto, so we're looking forward to going there with the film and see where it goes to some other festivals. So it's a neat little film. If you get a chance, any short film festivals, we'll probably submit to South by Southwest. I think that's not too far from here, and some other ones. So if you get a chance to see it, look out for it in the festival circuit. It's kind of interesting. Thank you.
Hi. I was just wondering, when you guys play a character, are you able to sort of slip into that?
Did he kiss you?
He kissed me.
Well, sure, I mean, on camera.
Fair enough.
Pick one.
Hi, my question's for Ben. I'm wondering if they offered you to go back and do Farscape again, if you would go back and play with the animatronics.
Would I go back and play with the animatronics? Absolutely. Asking whether I'd go back and be a puppeteer instead of being Jeff Knight. If you have never played, if you've never put your hand inside of another character. When I was at Comic-Con a couple years ago, the Henson Company has this thing called Puppet Up, which is improvisational puppetry. It's basically, it's theater sports for puppets. They invited me up to be a guest puppeteer. It's a ridiculous amount of fun that you never really got. I thought, oh, this will be easy, right? You get in there and you got your hand and you're playing the character, but you're improvising. And the first thing that happens is you forget to move your hand. And they do this on purpose for a point. It's like, oh my God, he's a ventriloquist. He's blowing his voice. You're amazing. But it's so much fun to do the puppeteering. First off, I used to think that, puppeteers had huge egos. And, they would literally, the puppeteers would literally stand there and say to me, your job is so much easier than my job. And I would look at them over by the monitor where the guys who did the voices had the script laid out for them. They didn't have to remember a thing. They just read off the script, and I thought, how is my job easier than yours? And I got to go get into makeup in the morning. But it is so difficult. And it is so, your brain kind of gets divided in like 3 different directions, which is probably why most people who work for the Henson Company are kind of insane anyway. Yeah, I'd do it for sure.
But and now you all know that puppeteers are considered the biggest egos in this industry.
Well, you should see their entourage.
They just travel in packs.
Well, look, on Farscape, Rigel came in and he had 7 people. There's 7 people looking after Rigel. I'm sharing my makeup artist with Dargo. If you look at it, and also they want to protect the puppets because the puppets cost more than the actors. If I fall down, it's like get another white guy. Rigel breaks a servo, it's $1 million. It's $1 million puppet. And so I've told this story, but probably many of you haven't heard it. The first time that we got physical with the puppet. Puppets or animatronics work better when you're in close contact with them. That's why Yoda, when Luke's carrying him around, it gives them a sense of reality. And the puppeteers, we talked about it early in the series, it's good to get your hands on them and to do this. And I said, well, how about if I just, knock the crap out of a little guy? Rigel, because he's only this big, right? He's floating around his drum set. And we were doing this scene where I was flashing in and out of these, of time. And that happens on sci-fi. So I'm flashing in and out of time, and I was mimicking my action. So, well, if I come out, and I was falling as I did it, and I hit the puppet in the back of the head. And I only told the puppeteers this, and they said, well, that's a great idea. So we didn't tell the puppet supervisor that this is what we're going to do. So, we didn't tell the director. Okay, so, but we improvised this thing where, they go, action, and I go, boom! And I hit the puppet. I didn't hit him, I actually pulled the punch, so it looked like it was a fight scene with a puppet. And the puppeteer, they have to hide the puppeteer. He's there, and he goes, bam! Like that. But he didn't actually hit, but he hit the bottom of it. So, from the front of the camera, it looked like I had just nailed the $1 million puppet. And from off camera, I hear, no, not the puppet! I could fall down and my leg would be breaking misdirection. They wouldn't care patching up.
Last question. Mike 2.
Hi. I think it's hilarious that David Hewlett had an idea for writing a Stargate musical because I'm also writing a Stargate musical.
few bars. Let's hear just a little bit of it right now. Okay. In homage to Jack O'Neill. I'm not sure Jack's going to be in it, but he may be referenced. Okay.
The Ballad of Jack O'Neill. Jack O'Neill, let me tell you how I feel. Jack O'Neill, you're so great, take me with you through that gate. So, my question, I was interested in...
Cameron Mitchell. Through the gate and he will Mitchell.
I was wondering what each of your favorite genre of music was.
I like the blues. All kinds of different things. I don't really have one favorite, but just a real mixed bag. Lots of different things.
Yeah, my tastes are fairly eclectic. I like jazz. I think that's the sort of height of performance for musicians. Obviously, classical music. My college roommate forced me to listen to a lot of Mozart. But yeah, if you're talking about current stuff, I like alternate rock at the moment.
I really like jazz too. That's kind of my favorite thing to listen to.
I like the artist Brandy. That's what I want to listen to. I bought an iPod. I was like, I don't need this.
And you like Bieber as well, right?
I just need Brandy.
Justin Bieber.
And with that, do we someone right there for one more? Or?
Yeah, we have time for one more.
Yeah.
Hi, God, wow. Jesus. Jeebus. Jeebus Christ. I have a question, I guess, for all of you guys, the cast members. What was your best on-screen kiss? Like,
We know Paul's.
I think that was my only on-screen kiss.
Aww.
I think it was.
You mean it made it to air? Well, I kissed Pope Bridges, so he wasn't expecting it. It wasn't scripted. He was getting a little up himself, you know? He needed a wake-up call, and he's a very attractive man.
I got pretty used to kissing Sean Marr. Used to in a good way.
So did I, in a weird size. We don't need to go into here. Yeah.
It's actually would be completely inappropriate for me to discuss truly the best on-screen kisses. I'm a married man, and you know you just don't kiss and tell.
I would if I had the opportunity, but I don't. So I'm sorry. So guys, I'm so sorry. I think that's the end. You guys have been so extraordinary for thank you.
Working function.